Hello and welcome to the show. I am back on Forza Horizon 4, going to be building another rally car, although I don't know what it is yet. We're not going to be using this 959, as brilliant as it is. No, we are going to be using the Forza gods to decide. The luck of a wheel spin is going to be the vehicle of choice. Now, of course, this will depend. This will rely on the car that gets drawn actually being able to be built to the correct class. If it can't be S1 class and all-wheel drive with rally tyres, it won't be run. I have been saving up some wheel spins because I'm not guaranteed to be getting one. We have got 16 wheel spins to go through. The first car that I draw, if it's going to work, will be the car that we use today. We're going to win 4,000 credits. Fantastic start. That's a very, very worthwhile wheel spin right there. Shall we see if we can get some more luck from this? Nope, it's going to be, well, it's more luck. It is 100,000 credit, which is at least better than 4,000. Can we get a car now, please? Can we get a car? Nope. We can get another 100,000 credits. I mean, I'll make money at this, sure. But we kind of need a car now. We kind of need a car now. It is a Honda S2000. We have got our car. We have got our car. An S2000 is the vehicle of choice. Interesting choice. Fairly small, fairly light. Likely to be... I mean, it's a good sports car. Ooh, a rock has been thrown at the house. Excellent loading cutscene right there. Yeah, it is fairly small and light, which good at some stuff. I mean, questionable off-roading in the sand, shall we say? I mean, the Morgan, to be fair, the Morgan was terrible, but that's probably more to do with the fact it had 3 wheels and tiny tyres rather than it being incredibly light. It was very quick accelerating. S2000 should have plenty of PI to play around with as well. We should have no issues with that. Not sure what engine we're going to end up running in this. Rules of this series are if a car can use its standard engine, we must use that. If it can get to the top of S1 class with the standard, or if we can get within 10 PI at the top of S1 class, we must use the standard engine. This is probably going to be pushing it with the standard engine, but we will have to wait and see how the PI goes. We are, of course, going to be wanting our off-road tyres. Well, it does currently say snow tyres, that is only because we are currently in winter. It will be the same weather conditions as ever when I run the course. Not the biggest of tyres, actually. At the front are a little bit tiny. 235s for the S2000. Might give it a little bit of grief. I guess the plus points for this car, at least it is going to be fairly light. There's less weight to move around, so we might be, let's say less weight. It's, yeah, not going to be too bad for this, for what we are doing with all of this. So yeah, we might get away a little bit more with the small tyres, the roll cage in, and we will get the weight reduction out. That's £2,500. Now, standard engine, what can you do? We're sort of almost into, well, I say almost... We're almost over halfway. I don't know, it's going to be close, I think, with this. It's going to be close. Unless some of these parts do give a massive power increase, we're going to be in trouble. I'm hoping for turbos and camshafts. If anything's going to do it, it will be those. Camshafts gets us up to 840, or only 400 horsepower, which is... I mean, I don't think it's going to be enough unless the turbo gives insane amounts of power. Turbo, the 60 horsepower. It's not the insane amount of power, really, that I wanted from you at all. Standard engine is good for about 600 horsepower. It's not enough for the car. It would not be competitive. So, our options, Turbo Rally, V8 or 3.2 i6. I think it's going to be V8 in this. Honestly, that's no better than the car's standard engine, really. That, while it does get a lot of torque, and is, I say a lot of torque, it's a decent amount of torque, it's still not going to be much better than the car's standard engine. So, we are going to go for the V8. We're probably going to go turbocharged. It's slightly lighter, or twin turbocharged, I should say. Slightly lighter than the supercharger. We will go with exhaust as well. Exhaust, always a good way to go with the upgrading, as not only does it give a decent power increase, also pretty good weight saving as well. I might not bother with camshafts in this. We'll certainly get the PI elsewhere. Now turbos, we will get up to 899 PI, 723 horsepower, 723 torque. Is a nice amount. It is a very nice amount indeed. I don't know whether we can sneak on. Can go up to 700. Now, it does add some weight. Do I want 760 horsepower? You know what? I'm going to give it a go. It's a little risky, that. Don't think we're going to be able to sneak any more upgrades on the car. No, we're not going to be able to sneak that on. We will get the diff in. Can we sneak a drive line in? No, it's worth a try, just in case. Sometimes you can, but I think this is right at the very top of its class. There's kind of like a little... So it's like 900 point something PI, because sometimes you can get away with these little upgrades and not affect PI. Other times, of course, it does. That's the S2000 ready. I think stats-wise looking pretty promising. I guess we'll have to see how it handles. So, here we are on the start line with the Honda. I'm going to get 3 runs through this beach rally stage to try and go as fast as possible. The target, to try and beat a 159.7 set by the Dodge Demon, a time that is looking to be pretty damn fast around here. The Honda, does it stand a chance? Absolutely, I think it does. It hasn't got as much power as the Demon, of course, but it is considerably lighter. Tyre size is much smaller on here than we got on the Demon, but it's probably the most sensible looking contender so far to try and displace the Demon at the top of the table. Do we want second? Can we get away with second out there? It's probably a better question. It looks like we probably can. There we go, as we head down this first short straight. There is not much in the way of acceleration zones early on in this course, although you still need some power, some torque getting it going out of the hairpins. They're not all long acceleration zones. What have we got grip-wise? Pretty good, actually. Pretty good. I mean, it's far better. Like the last car I drove around here being the Morgan, everything is going to be a little bit skewed. Everything is going to feel slower than the Morgan when it turns out for, you know, the back straight and whatnot, but considerably grippier. The Morgan doesn't really get turned into any of the corners. Even worse on ice, I found out. Morgan's not very good at all over there. That's a bit wide. That's a little bit wider than I would have liked. Now, I mean, it's easy enough to rectify. It's deceptive, that corner, with where you need to kind of turn in. Very easy to drift wide. Just about everything has gone wide there at some point. 106 miles an hour. Again, not quite as fast top end as the Morgan, but 106 is actually not too shabby either. It's fairly similar to the Demon. Now, onto the beach, we have this long corner. Try and get it lined up nicely for the run back to the, like I said, back to the circuit, if you like. It's a little bumpy up there, which we don't get thrown around too much on, but I was also aware after the issues we had with the Morgan. Now, it shouldn't be too bad down this section. Can I use the banking to throw the car from side to side as we head on to the last straight towards the big jump. This is where we need some good landings from the S2000. It actually flies very nicely. Little bump, little change, little shift almost in the car as we hit the deck there. It's a good first run. It's a good first run indeed from the Honda. We're down to a 201 already, 201.2. So we are, I think we're within striking range. A little need to run, and this could give the Demon some trouble. As we head on to the second run for the Honda, I don't really have much to complain about with the car. I'll be honest, there's little wrong with it. Yeah, it stops well, turns well, accelerates pretty damn good. I can't really find too much in the way of faults. So here's hoping I can string everything together. I've got to now not make any mistakes really with the car, which is always easier said than done. It's certainly not a difficult car to drive. The Morgan, that was a tough car to drive, even remotely quickly, and even when you were trying to remotely drive that car fast, it actually wasn't all that quick. So, yeah, this is not a particularly difficult... I say that, I know what the curse of the commentator is like, but yeah, this is not a particularly difficult car to drive fast. It is just a good overall vehicle. Taking a slightly different line, trying to get a good run down towards this next corner. Yeah, we've got carry sort of good momentum through these turns, this transition here. I'm not worrying about the car. I'm not worrying, the back end slides around a little bit. We've got more than enough grip to catch whatever weirdness it might be doing. So brake a little early here because the checkpoint hides the very nasty turning point. Now, are we going to be able to get this corner up here right? By the way the fence curves out there is deceptive and nasty to try and figure out your turning point for that corner. I mean, I can get away with clonking fences a little bit. I don't actually want to hit them particularly. If I can help it, they will slow the car down, so we will try my best to avoid them. And I'm not going to be taking massive shortcuts on the course. I don't want to be cheating on my own series. We got up to a better top speed that time around, although I'm a little bit out of position on the beach. You can get away with this because you can try and focus if we are here. See, we're maintaining a much better momentum around that corner than we could with the likes of the Morgan because we've just got the grip. We're holding sort of 80 miles an hour on that long corner. Yeah, it's another weird corner. So another sort of corner. It's why I kind of like this course. Is I've got some weird corners in here that are not the sort of normal corners you see on the rally stage. Certainly not the rally stages that you'll have on Forza games. Actually a little wide out of the hairpin. Are we going to have trouble with an AI car? Quite possibly here. Well, the AI car, we will we will get past you as we run towards the line. Oh, it's very close. It's very, very close indeed. It might cost us a tenth or two. Certainly not enough to have beaten the Demon. It's down to a 2-minute point 2. I mean, that's a very similar sort of run time to the Demon's second run. So it's going to be close. Half a second is all we need. Well, this is it. For the S2000, for our Lucky Dip car, half a second separates it from the top spots. Where am I going to find that half a second? And there are perhaps a couple of places I can be a little bit neater on. And ultimately, I think that's where we're going to be finding speed. The cars are going to slide around more here than they perhaps have in any other build series that I have done, just by nature of the circuit. But still going to want to be neat and tidy through these corners. I'm still going to want to try and minimise time loss from going sideways. It won't help me gain time. We can kind of slide it a little bit out of there, but we still want to be moving in a forwards direction. Now, get a good exit. We can just brush the fence. That's okay. It's feeling good so far. Very hard to tell. There's little in the way of reference points as to, and I certainly, a technical circuit like this, I certainly can't take my eye off where we're going to look at the race time. Now, this is where I think I lost a little bit of time in some previous runs with just sort of fighting the car a little bit too much. That's not too shabby there. I kind of want to string this all together as one corner, but it's just an awkward shape. It's a very awkward shape if you want to try to string it all together as one turn. That's better, though, through there. Now, don't run too wide here on the exit. It's bumpy. You don't want the car in the air. Anytime the car's in the air, the wheels aren't on the ground, it's not powering it forward. It's not what you want to be doing. Carefully does it. On to the beach. Now, make this turn. We want to keep up the momentum around this turn, but we also want to have the car positioned perfectly to run up this hill. Up to 96 miles an hour on the climb. Not really seen what other cars have been doing, truth be told, in terms of speed up there. If we are like a faster car, we actually have to kind of go on the brakes a little bit early because I don't want the bumps to launch the car at the scenery. Very easy to kind of miss the corner at the top of the course if you're bouncing around. We saw that with the Morgan. No real fears with this car in terms of airtime, although it is a little bit skewed on the landing. Suspension deals well with the crashing back to earth. I think it might have done it. I think the S2000 might have taken the top spot. It has 1:59.1. We make up a whole heap of time on that run. It was a good run. It felt like a good run as well. It is going to go top. It's, yeah, a little bit faster. Not drastically, horrendously faster than the Demon, but it is fastest. That's a very good result. That's a very good result. I didn't think the Demon was ever going to win quite. Overall, it's probably a little bit too heavy. For what is a very technical circuit, the Demon is probably a little bit too heavy, but its power and surprising amount of grip did do it pretty well. The S2000, though, is a little bit better. With the V8, with the 700 horsepower, 700 torque, and about 1,000 pounds lighter than the Demon, it's able to carry the speed, accelerate very, very nicely. Just a generally good all-round car. Had we not had a teensy bit of a wobble on that jump, we might have even got into a 158, but that could have been pushing it slightly. Yeah, the S2000 will top the table by 0.6 of a second. It's not the biggest leap forward in terms of time, but it is a very good result for the car. I mean, we're comfortably beating the Volvo, the MGB, the Bentley, and so on. So far, been an interesting series, an interesting mix of cars, and an interesting mix of speeds. Before we go, let's go and do the rest of the wheel spins. Seeing as I've got a bunch of them, I was saving them for this episode, knowing I wanted to do this. not knowing how many it was going to take me to get a car. So let's go and see what... Oh, we would have got an M5 for the next one. I am going to kind of skip rather than just see the thing rotate around. Oh, that's very nice. Thank you very much. I will take a 250 LM because the chances of me ever affording one of those on this game are pretty slim. That's nice. If we could keep up that sort of wheel spin luck, well, 190 grand. That's not too shabby. And then, oh, first clothing though from all of these wheel spins. Not too terrible. 15 grand. Again, I've got a 250 LM. I can't complain too much with this. We've got some trainers. Come on, go for a Forza Edition car just to finish it off. 130 grand. In some ways, I kind of prefer like the big amount of money other than another Morris Minor. That's third, fourth one of those. They got 3 sprites from wheel spins as well, which is quite funny. 180,000. Can we get? We're not going to get up to 10 million before the end of all of this. A Mazda MX-5, and our last one is a Camaro ZL1. A nice car. A nice car. Oh, not the last one. Sorry, got one more. And this is our final one. Oh, not quite a Celine S7. 170 grand though. Not too shabby. So there we go. That's all of the wheel spins gone. The good fun of the wheel spins. Yeah. If you want to suggest what car you would like to see run in this series for next episode, please do leave a comment below. The most liked will run. I am not going to run the Peel yet. It will run in this series at some point, but I do not want to run the Peel at the moment. We'll leave that for a later date for the more silly antics from that car. I think there are more interesting. I say more interesting vehicles. Yeah, that's just. I'm saving that for later. For later on in the series. But yeah, if you want to leave other recommendations, other requests, as I said, most liked will get run through the course next. That though is going to be it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.